Shamans, we understand, cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
And good morning, everybody. Hey,
good morning.
It's kind of weird not having Anthony here,
Yeah, no, it's like this big gaping hole.
right? We had. We'll get to talk today.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing Anthony. I know you're
geez.
watching.
No,
I know you're watching. It's just a joke.
Anthony,
Calm
get
down.
to work.
Calm down. No, Anthony has a truck to unload, and
Yes.
good for him. I wouldn't.
right.
I wouldn't want to be doing that crap.
It's going to be crap.
It is.
It's going to eventually be crap.
Yeah, exactly. So this was a long weekend.
Felt long, yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't throw this in the mix, and I probably should have. Maybe Rob can go and pull some stuff up. But I want to talk a little bit about Infocom, because we went to Infocom this weekend.
Did you?
Yes, we did. So Wednesday. Well, first of all, I mean this is nerd. This is not nerd news. I mean this is nerd news, not tech news. But we went over to.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, kind of. It really is. We went over to Wednesday night. We went over to Halloween Horror Nights at good old Universal Studios, and not their best job. It wasn't
Really?
horrible, but it was not their best job. Just saying.
So they ran up on you and then quickly turned around and ran
No,
off?
not even. The whole jump scare thingy, that's the only thing, and used to they get kind of really close to you.
Yeah.
But now it's like because of COVID crap. So the problem with what was going on is as you walk through the Halloween Horror Night in the houses, when you saw the glare of plexi, you knew they were going to jump out at you. Because that's how they did it. Now, there were some areas where they weren't behind plexi, but there was really kind of a good distance between you and them.
Yeah.
But the problem, yeah, but your brain going, oh, plexi, it's a jump scare. Whether they did it or did not, it was a jump scare.
Oh
So
gosh.
you're like,
It'd be like going through one and they have these giant gerbil balls.
yes.
And everybody just like rolls up
They
on you.
roll into and go boom, boom, boom.
Hey, bah.
Yeah, it was really sad. But it was still a good time. I went with my son Dylan and his friend Dylan. So I had two Dylans. Dylan and Dylan is what they call him. So, but it was fun. But anyway, so we went to Infocom, right? Infocom is truly, I'm surprised maybe you don't go to these because it is cool as hell. I mean, and this week, and so okay, so I went, I enjoyed it, I loved it, I got there. The problem was it wasn't as big as it normally is because a lot of the out of country people, out of the states, like the European, those kind of companies, they didn't show up. Because for them to come over here, it's a 3-week quarantine before they can go back. Which is nuts, right?
Yeah,
So
so,
anyway,
yeah, they're not
we
gonna
did miss a
waste
lot
it.
of people. Like our guys from vMix, which we are a vMix studio. We are sponsored by vMix. They are the people that our software goes into all of our computers and the whole 9 yards. They weren't there because they're from Australia. Well, for them to come over, it's a 3-week hold before they can come. Now, not saying hanging out in the United States is not cool for 3 weeks, but I understand business is business. You got to be over doing stuff. So, but X Keys was there, which was a cool thing. Now, the biggest vendor there, out of all the vendors, was the LED screen guys.
Really?
Yep. I mean, those guys, and it was kind of funny. You didn't normally walk in there and there's these 50 feet tall, 100 feet wide, LED screens because all the Chinese guys bring them in. The Chinese companies bring them in.
Right.
Nope. So I guess the LED people that are the LEDs that were there were either over here, they were China-based, but over here so they could come to the shows, or there were local guys. And technically and typically, all the LEDs that you see, like the walls and stuff, that's all coming from China anyway.
Right.
So a lot of we did find some really cool ones though. I mean, there was some curve when they curved, and it was pretty dope, as the young kids say. Look at me trying to be hip or something like that. But I did find one guy that I think is going to interest you. I'll bring it in next week for you to look at. Sometimes it's the dumbest little things that get me tickled, because I go, oh my God. So what's the worst thing about networking? Is making those stupid connections, right?
Connectors.
Oh my God. So Simon, which has been a company out of Watertown, Connecticut forever, right? They have this new way to do ends on Cat 6. They have others too, but right now everything is 6+ anyway. And dude, all you do is you pull the sheathing back, you put your little coupler in the back and let it stick there, right? And then there's this new module, and you put the module in, and instead of spinning the wires and trying to get them all out, flatten them all out, get them in the right color coding, you just put it in, and then you just go, and then you just spin a little bit to open it up and make sure it pops in the right hole, boom, boom, boom. Get in there, crimp her down, cut the cables, crimp her down, put the end on, you're done. I mean, now, are they as cheap as running down to Home Depot and buying a pack of Ideal and blah, blah, blah? No, it's not. But the good thing about these is if you mess up, you put the little thing back on, unpin it, pull it out, and redo it. It's reusable over and over and over again.
Well, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll bring it to you. I have one. I have the cutter and whole 9 yards. So I'm getting ready to go online because we're getting. So yes, if everybody doesn't know yet, Tampa Bay Multimedia Beam TV has been purchased. We're by a company named Hoovy. And Hoovy. We were going to have an open house on the 13th, but we're booked now, so we're not going to. I'm sorry, everybody.
I thought it was going to be DirecTV or something.
Oh, I wish. So Hoovy is a company that they like what we've done, and they're going to do this all over the country. Literally what we've done this mall.
Oh, okay.
So we're building one in Orlando already. We're taking over the 3rd floor of Berg's in St. Pete as a new studio down there. So it's a studio in St. Pete. We're going to have one in Orlando. It's in I hope I say this right, the Ovidia Mall. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm murdering that
place.
That place. 6,100 square feet of studio.
Nice.
Right. So
now we can do puppet shows.
we can do puppet shows live. We can do LARPing in there if we want. But anyway, so I'm going to order some of these because it's going to make. I mean, when we do these studios, it's all like we're all rock paper scissors to see who does them because they suck. But this literally will it'll change the life. So
beautiful,
which is really, really cool. But so Infocom was a really good, so that was a 1-day thing, and then of course, the rest of the weekend we were either at Universal or I sat by the pool. I've not done this in years. I sat by the pool for like 2 hours. I know that doesn't sound like long.
Kind of cold,
dude. It was. See, here's between you and I love the cold. It can't get cold enough for me.
Oh, jeez.
In Connecticut, I had a plow service. I bought a company. They plowed, so we plowed driveways and shoveled.
Oh.
I was the guy that would show up in a long sleeve, like not a hoodie, but just a long sleeve tee, and a pair of shorts and boots.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm from upstate New York.
And then I get in my truck, heat's blasting, and I'm driving around, and all these other guys are driving on these parkas inside their car. I'm like, no. Oh my God, what is wrong with you people?
Well, I lived like right next to the Great Lakes, so I had the lake effect snow,
That's awesome.
6-foot snow drifts.
Yes.
No, I'm not. No. I need to go further south. It gets too cold here.
You like the Caribbean, right?
Yes.
So we're going to jump into the. What did you do this weekend? Anything good?
We had a great big Halloween party. It was pretty cool.
Good for you, buddy.
That was pretty fun.
We get no kids.
And you know what? I technically did tech because we had one of those big blow up projector screens.
Yes.
From Amazon.
Sorry.
Sorry. That's the only way I'm gonna get it.
No trigger today.
Yeah, no trigger. So you know what? I got it. The thing was pretty cool. I think it was a 10 or 15 foot screen. wonderful. Got a really low-cost projector.
Hey, Tammy White says hi. She's got
Hi.
a big waiver.
Waiver. Hey, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Got a little projector.
Right.
And it connected to my Bluetooth speaker because I didn't want that tinny noise.
Yep.
From it. I had a little Bose
A little speaker in it.
Bluetooth in there. Hooked it up. Man, we were watching movies and
You were just a cool dude.
Yeah. We had a smoke machine. We had everything.
Cool dude right here.
Yeah, it was pretty
Right here,
snazzy.
right here, right here.
It was snazzy.
Snazzy. You know what I did? I did nothing. We don't ever get kids on our street. There's no sidewalks.
I sent kids out. I turned off my lights and sent kids out though.
Smart. So we're going to jump into the first story here. Okay, and I know this is old news, but we're going to get a little deeper than so Facebook just revealed its new name. It's Meta. The company announced rebranding during Facebook Connect. So they did a big Facebook Connect, the whole 9 yards. And here's the thing. They're not changing the name Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
Right, no.
They're doing exactly what Google did a long time ago and becoming they have a parent company now.
Correct.
And it's called Meta, right?
Yeah.
And they're all about the metaverse, which means they don't care about they just want everybody to be out there and inclusive. I'm tired of that word, inclusive, and have and be part of that. They're going to push more towards the heavy VR world.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In meetings.
Plus, you can't really have your main company that's controlling all these other entities with so much backlash and so much regulation getting ready to happen and a whole bunch of people bad publicity. And it is, everybody knows what Google does. Everybody over the world knows that, they like to push their agenda with advertising and stuff like that. But nobody ever hears about who really owns them, and that's Alphabet.
Right.
So this is a good way for them to kind of step aside and say, it kind of just takes that heat off of them, and they still get to operate without having too much. And if that problem child is causing too much problem, they can just, push it aside, and they could still continue to have their agenda.
Yeah, Zuckerberg said that over the next several years, Facebook would effectively transition from people seeing us as primarily being a social media company to being a metaverse company. Okay. I have to say this, and I am sorry if I offend everybody. I really don't care. But it's just like when they said, well, I don't have a server anymore. I'm in the cloud.
Right.
Well, no, a server is the cloud. The servers are the clouds. Facebook will always be a social media platform.
Correct.
You can call it whatever you want to, but just because you rebrand what your world is doesn't mean that everybody doesn't know you're still Facebook and you're just getting your asses handed to you at this point.
And technically, that's what the internet is everybody's able to connect to each other at some point, and they're just meeting up on people's different servers.
And it's already like, okay, so the Google CEO says that the Facebook's metaverse is not necessarily the best thing for human society, and expresses concern about safety of artificial intelligence. So really, it's kind of like they're pushing us into Ready Player One. I know it's a movie,
Yeah.
I get that. But there was Ready Player One's not the only or first of its kind movie that's all been about this. There's
The
been
Matrix.
The Matrix.
Right.
So people, I think it was Anthony that put in our messenger that where we do our show notes is that we could potentially be the last generation that truly knows what it's like to go outside.
That's a good possibility.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to sit there and, no, I don't have to go outside. I can meet you at this spot. I mean, literally.
Right. They're taking away like the workspace.
Right.
Their biggest push on this right now is they're pushing towards the workforce. What better way to get people who are at home in by getting them out of the office and working remotely and using using the workforce as a, hey, look, business, you can save a bunch of money, no more travel expense, this. Here's a whole virtual office we can create for you, and all your workers can work there. And what's going to happen from that point on, people are going to be able to transverse into other areas of the internet and just keep going along with that. And that's their whole premise, hey, let's, we can market this, we can market that. Games can have, somebody's playing a driving game. Hey, we can advertise in there too now. You have, billboards in driving games, just like you have billboards in real life. Why can't we just go ahead and sell ad space on that billboard?
Well, okay, so again, I hate to do this. I hate to go back to a movie because you're like, oh, that's just a movie. But if you think about it, let's go back to the Ready Player One, movie, right? These people work off their debt in a virtual world, right? And there are those people that are not going outside or anything like that because it's just easier to live in that world.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the Oculus, right? And then I went and bought one. And then I think there's another story in here, maybe Rob will throw it up. But, the Oculus is thinking about, they're pushing it where you don't have to log into your Facebook account.
Well, that was when they were coming out with the Quests. Okay, that was a big issue for gamers and stuff like that. They were saying, hey, why do I have to use Facebook just to get into it?
Because it lets you go to Steam.
Right.
And I have a Steam account. Do you have a Steam account? So you can, the games are the games and the stuff that's is owned by Facebook, not Steam. Like
it's not. No. Facebook created their own game marketplace.
Right.
So in order to play the standalone games on the device without having to go through Airlink. Those are all on Facebook's platform.
And
that's
Facebook only.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars, like everybody's playing Beat Saber. That's
of course.
Is that a Facebook thing? Or
no. It's on other platforms.
Okay.
It's on other platforms. Right. It's just the fact that to make it easy for them, they're selling and they're taking a cut. Of course, the developers develop the game. It's on multiple platforms, but they're just having it on their storefront.
If you put some deep thought into this. Mark Zuckerberg was the one that pushed COVID because he knew
stay inside, kids.
Push you inside.
We'll put you into the virtual world.
Stay at home.
You can't catch COVID there,
right? Oh, by the way, we had this new thing coming out called the Oculus, right? Oh, welcome to Facebook. Here's if we start seeing businesses say, oh yeah, going through virtual, we'll have virtual meetings and we'll have this and everybody will be in, all be in the Oculus. Like, what?
The funny thing is when I heard that Facebook was buying the Oculus brand, okay, I thought, hey, here it's going to be commercialized, which it is.
Right.
But usually at that point, development stops.
Yeah.
They don't really, they figure they got this good thing, let's just, do whatever with it automatically. But the funny thing is they did push the envelope on these devices. Now that the Quest 2, which is technically a mobile device, is, more people and even people that are, have been gaming for a long time are even swayed over to that because the optics are really good. The device is really pretty good for what you're getting.
Phenomenal.
Especially at the price point.
Right.
What you're getting for the price is like, wow, this is, this is really good. And, so they're still developing on it.
Right.
And they're still and they're adding additional features.
Right.
And features that don't even really call to what they're doing. They're making it more and more immersive. So maybe it is, but, it's good to also see that there's advancement happening and it just didn't become stagnant.
Right.
Because really, the virtual reality at one point was becoming like really big, and then all of a sudden it just pulled back really fast.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have Facebook buying Oculus, and then here we are again. We're really taking a dive into it.
Well, they have the money to put behind it anyway.
Right.
So, but we're not here to sell the Oculus. We're just we thought it was pretty good.
It's cool.
But it's like even the guy. What was his name? I'm talking Neil Stevenson, right? Who coined the term metaverse like 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you need to be a little bit wary about all this stuff.
He's like, dang it.
Probably. I didn't copyright
I
that.
shouldn't have wrote that book.
Dang it, what's wrong with me? I think it was a snow crash.
Yeah.
And he's like, he feels like it's been ripped off, which it was in my personal opinion.
Well, yeah, the whole meta.
But he
thing.
wasn't just fast enough to. He should have copywritten it.
Mm-hmm.
He should have done. Got it because no one was using metaverse back then.
And their logo is technically the Oculus.
Yes.
The if you look inside the box, there's there's another piece that's in there for people who wear glasses,
Like
and
me.
and if you literally twist it, it looks
That's-
just like their
that's your- that's
looks
your-
like
that's
their
your
logo,
logo, right.
and I'm like, what?
Oh, he didn't give us cough buttons today. Oh my!
But I don't know if you know, but there is the whole workforce feature that's built into that they're doing and that they were promoting. There's already an app in the Quest store that you can download that is I think it's called Horizons Workspace, and that's what they were promoting in there. You can literally bring your computer desk into your virtual environment, and there's also a Bluetooth keyboard that can come in. That's a real keyboard for your computer that comes into your virtual environment automatically. So you literally
Really?
can type on it. It's made by oh goodness. Okay, it's that company, Logitech, a particular Logitech computer and keyboard. And the funny thing is you are physically working on your device virtually, and what you're doing is really happening on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So you can stay. A lot of developers can literally stay in the virtual world and do real work on physical items. Yeah, they're never going to leave.
I got people texting me now.
Oh, so what you saw, when they if you watch the video, what you saw when the person was working on a computer,
Right.
and literally turned his
Well,
head and saw.
How much is that keyboard?
Yeah, I could probably guess the keyboard's probably only like $69, $79.
Oh, so do you have to buy that keyboard or can
That-
you
right.
buy a Bluetooth keyboard?
No, it's that particular keyboard if you want the full feature. And I'm sure there's going to be they're going to add more and more features.
Right.
That's probably the only one which they had the layout, built already, predetermined, and they have the Bluetooth capabilities that are needed to be able to determine what keys are being hit and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But it's with the hand tracking thing,
Right.
which means that all your fingers can be tracked. As it gets better and better, you will feel and think that you're really in.
Yeah.
So it's going to get odd, I think.
Okay. Well, we spent a lot of time on them. So you've heard of Rumble, right?
Rumble.
Rumble. It's YouTube's competitor,
Right.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
As much as look, I love the platform. It's just I don't think anybody ever.
Is there a grumble in the Rumble?
No. Actually, they have good news.
Oh, okay.
YouTube competitor Rumble makes major announcement, acquires locals, right, which is another platform, and it just in YouTube competitor to make the biggest announcements of the platform's history tomorrow, making it tougher to cancel, and creators will own their own destiny. Which they're bringing in another kind of like their competitor. What would amaze me if all of a sudden YouTube owns Rumble,
Right.
which would never happen. But I don't think I should never say that because
No, we've
I've
seen weirder problems,
stupider stuff happen. But it's a big deal, I mean, it's going to be, it's just make it a bigger and a sharper, and there's going to be more. I hate it to the point where, if YouTube is, and I'm not bitching, I'm just saying, I'm just stating the obvious, that if YouTube is going to say, okay, you can be a creator, don't censor.
Right.
Don't censor. I understand it's your platform. I get it, right? But you can't take one message over another message. So, hence Rumble, right? So now, but the problem with Rumble is it goes, look, I'm in the middle. I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. Sometimes there's good on both sides, and there's crap on both sides, right? Well, unfortunately, with Rumble, which I do like the platform, well, it's so far right now. It's just like some of the crazy ass shit that's up there is nuts, right? And I'll be honest, it's nutty. It really is. I'm like, wow, but good for what they've done. You know, they've allowed them to have another voice where they don't get censored and shut down for absolutely no reason. Because I got people on YouTube that I know, they just talked about the COVID world, and they were reading a story that they were talking about, and the story was against it in whole 9 yards, even though the guy that was doing the show, doesn't matter, it's your body, whatever, it is what it is. They didn't give him a strike. They didn't say, oh, by the way, they just cleaned, it was gone. Just gone.
Dang.
And I'm like, well, that's wrong. Get a warning. Yeah. Something like that. And I know Facebook every now and then will give you a warning going, you did bad. Okay, whatever.
Well, in an instance like that, you're not spreading misinformation. You're saying that, you have a choice, and everybody has a choice,
Yeah,
So, and that's nothing wrong with that. You can, if you choose not to, do something, then you get to choose not to do it, I guess. It doesn't make sense.
Right. And again, I'm not here to argue that crap. I'm just saying, but that's what Rumble is. Rumble gives you, but with them acquiring locals, it just broadens their own platform.
Uh-huh.
And we're actually trying to stream to Rumble. It's a little more of a pain in the ass. I'm just going to say it. I like it. We could stream to it, but we have a pretty automated system here.
Right.
And it really doesn't work as well. Mm-hmm. We have to go and you got to do this and you do this and you do this. And by the time I've done all that, it's just a pain. There's a thing called a persistent key. YouTube has it. Facebook has it. They all have it. Rumble needs to get that so people like us can just stream daily, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for us to stream.
Are they not? Are they making you have to generate a new one every single time? Yeah.
Right.
So they just need to get their developers on it and figure something out. Once you have a large enough hash, it's not like somebody's going to steal that.
Right.
That key. So it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But
anyway, so check out Rumble. If you're on locals, you just found out going, oh, by the way, I'm on Rumble now.
Oh.
So, hey, surprise.
Surprise.
Now, this next article I put in our chat, and I think you got a big thumbs up on it. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 380 Ti Mobile rumored to use a GA103 GPU. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds cool.
Technically, what it is that they're working on a new GPU, and it's not going to be released until later on next year. But it's obviously, as they advance, their GPUs, they can make them work better with lower power. Okay. So technically, the ones that are in the laptops are not like scaled down versions of the older technology. Yes, they can scale it down and stuff, but it usually takes such a long time. But if they make a different GPU that, if they don't overclock it, if they underclock it and have better power saving capabilities, and obviously a different technology to, a different process in which they build it. So a different, like a 7 nanometer process to build the chipset, then they can go ahead and put that in the laptop, have better power requirements, lower power requirements, not put as much power to it, so they're not going to, clock it as high.
Right.
And they'll just call it, the current models, generations, GPU.
Okay.
And they just, using software, they code it to, make it think it is what it is. In the meantime, it just means that they are working on something really cool.
So
later on.
So the world of, let's talk about memory real quick, and this is not in our notes, but DDR, right now everybody's running DDR3, right? Or DDR4?
DDR4. DDR4 and some DDR5 systems.
Okay, so now DDR5, when that comes out, this is what I keep hearing from everybody, that's just going to change the world.
No, because as the software develops, there's more requirements, and as software becomes more and more complicated, it's going to take more and more threads, more and more processes in order to do the exact same thing. and so the hardware has to kind of advance with it. So they would move. So right now they're doing DDR6 and graphics cards. Okay.
I was going to ask you, what's the difference between DDR4, 5, and then you have the GDDR6? Is that graphics DDR?
Well, yeah, GDDR is normally RAM that's higher speed rating,
Okay.
faster input output capabilities, because graphics cards need to be able to they need a lot of information.
Right.
Okay, and when that processor processes, your polygons and all that information,
right.
it has to load it into RAM somewhere, and graphics RAM is right there on the same chip, the same processing, same board as the the GPU itself. So to get that information loaded into that RAM, it happens so quickly, and it can generate new polygons and remove them so fast. That's where you get your graphics
Right.
coming in. If it had to load it into say for instance a graphics card had DDR3, your processor could spit out the information, but the RAM, because it's such a low clock speed, can only accept so much so fast.
right.
So there's a bottleneck. So you're trying to, they try to up the ante by giving it faster RAM that can take the information faster.
I did not. So when they say that when DDR5 comes out, that we're looking at 132 gig RAM sticks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could, most systems today, gaming systems, you can go ahead and put 128 gigs of RAM in a machine. It's crazy. But again, you can put as much RAM into your machine as you want.
It's all about the processing power.
It's all and how fast it can spit that information in and out. So you can get a next generation processor, and you could be the best processor in the world, and if your RAM is still an older style RAM and has the lower speed settings on it, you're still going to have that bottleneck. You're going to zip through code thinking you are, but it's always going to be bottlenecked. That speed is only going to go as fast as that RAM and the machine can handle.
Okay.
So once you reach that bottleneck, that's it. Your machine, you can do all the upgrades you want. Your machine's not going to go any faster.
Right.
Same thing with the graphics card. You put the best graphics card in there, and if it needs CPU power, and your system's limited by what you currently have, then your graphics card can't do much for you.
Right.
Just
nice to say I have one of
Yeah.
these.
It's like when you upgrade to a solid
Can it
state.
actually create more headaches than it's worth?
Everything, yeah. When you're building custom computers, unfortunately, because there's all sorts of different manufacturers, different match.
Right.
Some motherboard manufacturers require different speed settings on their RAM, different clock settings. If you get the wrong RAM, sometimes it won't detect the full 16 gigs that you buy, or
Right.
it'll only work in the B slots versus the A slot. I mean, yes, it can become a headache.
It's like putting a Ferrari motor in a Pinto.
Yeah,
Pinto
and trying to get
cannot
everything.
cannot handle it.
And this is the exact reason why Windows has such a hard time, because you have the capability of having so many match parts,
Right.
and manufacturers have the ability to choose what they want to use for, a wireless card, a graphics card here, different manufacturers, because NVIDIA licensing out the GPU, and then you have different OEMs building it, Vision Tech, this company, that company, you know what I mean? So once you have that problem,
Yeah.
Microsoft's like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and update your drivers. We've got new drivers for your computer. And your driver loads up, and it might be a generic driver for a particular card that is not compatible.
Right.
And next thing you know, your system crashes and breaks
Just because you updated it.
just because you updated it.
Updated. Hope updated.
Apple
It's
doesn't
like,
have
well,
that
okay, so what do you think about the MSI, the MSI's next gen cards?
So what is that?
It is next gen PCIe Gen 5. I think it's the new motherboards.
Oh, that's what do they got? The 100 and
28 gigabit per second.
oh, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. Nothing should be that nice.
PCIe Gen 5. So that's
Right.
that's technically the same as, your RAM.
Okay.
Okay, so your RAM has speed limits, and so does your data connections. So, for instance, your hard drive stuff.
Right,
so if
right.
your standard hard drive has SATA, and your computer has back in the day had like SATA 2 connection.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
and that could
remember
only
those.
the chip that was on there that control the controller card that controlled those SATA connections could only input and output at a certain speed. So what they're saying here now is they're coming out with a new PCI Express Generation 5 M.2, and this is going to be able to give you faster input and output on your solid state M.2 solid states.
Right.
Problem is if your solid state is limited to 512 meg input output, then having a really fast connection is not going to do you any good because your card can only read as fast as it was capable. So now what you're going to need to do is, if you're going to use this new PCI Express standard, you're now going to have to find a manufacturer that manufactures the M.2 solid state
Right.
that matches those speeds if you want to utilize it.
If you want to, yeah, right.
And it's the same thing, like your wireless. Well, when we talk about, different technologies and wireless, and they got Wi-Fi 6 coming out, faster router. Well, it's great that you have a faster router, but the devices in your house,
Your technology can't
your
handle it.
technology, yeah, in order to utilize that same speed, your wireless adapter inside your TV, inside your computers, inside your phone, all have to support that same standard, or else you're never going to reach those speeds.
And they're still stuck at 2.4.
Well, they have to, because 2.4 gigahertz has a longer range.
Yep.
And some things like the doorbells and
They're through
the Internet
they're
of
through
Things.
concrete walls.
Yeah, the Internet of Things, they don't really, little devices, home security devices, they don't really take a lot of data to use. So
My Apple TV does.
yeah.
And when that thing it starts buffering, I'm like, oh God, can you just not go to 5 for God's sake? Jeez.
Well, I have a tri-band. I have a tri-band router, so I have one 2.4
Well, of course
gigahertz.
you do. You are the tech shaman, baby.
Well, I got one 2.4 gigahertz range, okay, and then I have two 5 gigahertz. And what I've done is, I've taken like all the mobile phones, computers, and stuff, and I put those all on one of the 5 gigahertz
right.
settings on one of my SSID range, and I put them all on that. Then I have another one, and I set that one up only for my streaming devices, TVs.
Okay. That's
TVs
smart.
and stuff like that. So there's no competition
Right.
for that
bandwidth.
For that bandwidth, yes. And remember, the more devices you add, yes, your bandwidth can handles 1.2 gigahertz. It says, 1.2 gigs a second you can download at. Well, remember that if you have, 10 TVs in your house all streaming, and each one's pulling from that,
Right.
you're only giving a sliver of your internet to each device. And if one of those devices is a slower device, that's going to affect everybody, just like in games.
Just like
When you have somebody with large lag,
yeah, too many people. on the server.
everybody in the server is going to suffer.
Get off. So, so now, then going into this next story, why is all this important? Because of this very thing right here. The U.S., the Russians, and China are testing orbital vulnerabilities of each other.
Well, that's just great. So now the countries are hacking each other's satellites and stuff, trying to see who's got some vulnerabilities
Well,
up
they're
there.
already. I mean, right now, the story we're talking about is spacefaring nations are exploring warfare tactics in orbit.
This is crazy.
It's like, okay, who's going to take over the MTV satellite and run it into the Russian or the China or
No, it's gonna be like, now pretty soon there's gonna be like zones around a satellite that are gonna belong to, this is the United States space
Can't
zone.
have this zone.
1.2 miles from this satellite is all national airspace.
I bet it does get to that point.
Yes, and then next thing you know, Russia's going to be flying their satellite right next to and we're going to send our satellite over there, and they're gonna counteract them.
Right. Well, they're calling it what is it? Space situational awareness. So they have to know. So here's what I'm thinking. This probably started off. We had one crappy satellite. It was finally days. It was dying, and they're like, if we take that dying satellite and we can somehow push it into this orbit of the Chinese, and it just happens to take it out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
It was a dying satellite.
It's my bad. It's space junk. It just happened.
It just happened. We're sorry. We'll help you pay for that. Whatever. I bet you.
We'll help you
that's
pay
kind
for
of where
that
it went.
after we change some of our rules on.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't fly within so many.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
You see those old movies where it's one person's satellite go down and they call their buddy up, hey, you mind if I jump off of yours? Can I tag you? Can you come in there and get a little spatial awareness, right?
Yeah.
And let me use you to help me and jump.
So
blah, blah,
where
blah.
does corporate satellites come into play on this?
Like Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he's got all the little starlights that are all flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Those technically could eventually, just with the right nudge, take a satellite out.
Yeah.
A big satellite out.
Right,
It doesn't take much.
And what stops China or another country from going ahead and saying, "Oh, you're using Elon's satellites to spy on our satellite"?
Right? I mean, it's. And then you get these. Then you're finally getting the companies that are going to go. Okay, we're going to go out there. We're going to put a little flight out there, and we can just move and push out of orbit stuff like that. That becomes the highest bidder. Oh, you want the Chinese to go out? Okay,
Yeah.
we can do that. Oh, you want the Australians to go out? Oh, you want the Europeans to go out? No problem. We can do that. How much?
Hey, the mob's moving into outer space.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Hey, Frankie, I need you to go take out Tommy Two Thumbs.
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
$500 million.
But
Take out a
it's scary.
satellite.
And the whole reason that all this technology is being developed is to who can have the better controls of their satellites, I think.
Yeah, and their people.
And their people.
Yes.
There you go. See?
In the metaverse.
So here's what in the metaverse, right? So here's what we're gonna talk about real quick. So I saw this USA Today, and I put it in there. Amazon just announced the hottest tech gifts for 2021, and here are the best ones to buy. Now we're not saying this is. We'll agree or disagree.
Yeah.
But the first one they're saying is Apple AirPods Pro. Nope.
No. That they just first off the new ones just came out. We don't even know who even knows how they feel.
No.
How are you gonna tell somebody? I just no.
Now
no.
that's an absolutely not. Now Sony's noise canceling headphones.
Come on.
What's so new and great about them? I actually tried them. I don't like them.
And
they don't fit.
It's not like
I got big ears, I guess, and they just don't fit right for me.
everybody makes noise canceling.
Now this one right here is Nintendo Switch.
I was reading up on the Nintendo Switch, and they did increase the screen
Yes,
size.
they did.
And they went with an OLED screen.
Yes.
So,
For all
yeah.
you gamers. Yep.
Now, I mean, I wish they would, increase the hardware capabilities, and maybe they did. I don't know, but the Switch is a pretty cool device. So.
Okay, so do you miss the Polaroid cameras of the day?
No. Well, you know what? I miss the old ones.
Right.
Yeah, and when it came out the front.
Yep. You had to
Yes.
plop, 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 plop. Well, this one's the Fujifilm Instax mini Insta camera. What did I just call it? Just a mini Insta camera. Anyway, so it comes up. I guess it might be a digital print.
Yeah.
A little bit harder. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But it stores it both in the camera.
Oh, so it's like a digital.
And you get a picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that until I really got into it and reading it. So, the LG OLED C1 series smart TV. I like LG. LG. I do, but to me, the Samsungs,
Yeah.
dude, they're awesome. They come with all your apps.
Yeah. They come with the best
Yeah.
apps that
And they have their own online TV station.
and you can. Yes, you hook them up, and people are like, the minute you hook it up to the internet, it's like you got TV. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, I'm done."
I can cut my cable.
Yeah, that was smart. That was really smart.
I'm getting one for so I'm cheap, right? So I have literally had this old Panasonic LED. I mean, it was it LED? No, it was not. It freaking thing weighs like 30 pounds.
Oh, that TV, the 55-inch TV is what, 1290s? You know what? OLED at those prices. Remember when it first came out?
Oh my God!
Oh
they
my
were
gosh!
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm actually going to get a Samsung, go in my room, in my bedroom, because then I can pull out my Amazon Fire Stick. I can pull out my Apple 4K. I don't need nothing but the TV, because it handles it all.
You know my Samsung Smart Hub that controls my house?
Yes.
I have it. It connects. It lets me turn my TV on and off by my voice commands.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I say, Alexa, turn off. Alexa, turn off TV. Okay.
Now the next one is Amazon Kindle Paperwhite.
No, who cares?
Why?
It's,
I got an iPad.
Yeah.
And then there is the Jabra Elite Active 75 key wireless earbuds.
Who cares?
You know, $179 for these things.
Show me something that's it's just different.
Okay, so the GoPro Hero 10 waterproof action camera.
Who cares?
I'm not sure if we're showing these pictures or not, but
Nah,
I do like this one.
well, okay. So John's a camera
I think
dude.
I'm a camera guy. It's $49.90. It's $499.99.
Oh.
It's waterproof. That's from Amazon. It's you know, I love the GoPros.
Yeah.
I wish GoPro didn't charge you to catch a pure stream from them. You know, like, okay, so like in the X Games and stuff like that, there is a module there's a system you can buy that actually can grab your, I mean, it can do almost, what was it? They say half a mile.
Wow.
I don't believe it.
Okay, probably.
I mean, we have wireless cameras here that say 1,000 feet and they do not work. It's like 500 because all the Wi-Fi and all the phones just jack your signal up, right? So now the Fitbit Charge 5.
No.
I have the 3, right? The Versa 3. I love mine. I was thinking about getting an Apple Watch, and I'm
I
thinking
have
to
the
myself,
Apple Watch. It's awesome.
What'd that cost?
You can get them for like $3.99.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$99.
I have the Apple Watch. It's still awesome.
And it gives me text, and I can make phone calls, and I can do, but it keeps my blood pressure and blah blah blah. Now this right here is the DJI Mini 2 foldable drone right there. I have one. I freaking love that thing. The only thing about it doesn't have is it does not have avoidance. That's a problem with us because that very one right there flew into a tree.
Oop.
We had thought we had lost it forever. I mean, I say a tree, it was like 50 feet up in the tree, and it was it was tangled up inside moss because it doesn't have avoidance, right?
Oh.
Like, well, we've lost it. I had to go buy another one, blah, blah, blah. Then about 2 months later, the guy calls me and says, hey, by the way, got your drone. It fell out. It fell out
Yes.
in the stack of moss. So the moss kept it from
It
breaking.
was a cushion.
It still works.
It was a
Freaking awesome.
cushion.
It was. Okay, so the number 11 is the Bose SoundLink Micro.
Okay. Not for nothing, but when people, change technology, make it useful and different.
Right.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even though it's yes, it may just be a Bluetooth speaker. It's for your bicycle. And it's cool. I think.
And you put on your boat. Yeah, I like it because you put on your bike.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing. I would rather have that than listen to headphones when I'm
Right.
riding, and I'll tell you why. And because spatial awareness, right? You can't hear when those things are. If you have the good ones, like I have a really good set of Beats. The Beats. When they're in, and I hear nothing around me. But with this, if you do something or a car's out of control or someone's getting your attention, you can hear someone scream
Right,
at you.
exactly.
Now you're not immersed in the sound.
Right, and
like
you could
the
still be,
headphones
and you
give
still could
but
be
you're
aware,
still safe,
of
right?
your surroundings. Your surroundings. You're
Right.
riding a bike for gosh sakes.
Amazon Fire TV stick, like we didn't know this was already going to be on there because this is from
Yeah.
Amazon. They had to put their products in
Yeah.
there somehow, right? Again, if you buy a, most of the TVs today come with Amazon already built in. So why? See, it's getting to a point where the
Too
TV
much
manufacturers
stuff.
are making it where you don't need to go buy
Right.
Apple TV or a Fire Stick or a Roku because they're all built in already.
That's like Samsung has the AirPlay. You can AirPlay your Apple stuff to it.
And I think you like this, the Apple AirTag.
Yes.
You like this? You lose.
I mean,
you lose your
I
stuff
haven't
all the time?
I haven't used it, but it's another thing that's it's a cool technology,
Right.
And people have been utilizing them to even track their own vehicles and things like that.
They work that far away?
Well, the thing is they use
Are they
that.
Wi-Fi based?
No, they use NFC tags, but they use a low-powered
But if
kind
the
of
car is
Bluetooth.
20 miles away from you,
The thing is that the car's away from you. Most people carry what? iPhones, right?
yes.
People won't know.
Oh, it's playing off. It's playing
It's
off. of
tagging,
it's
right.
using other people's Wi-Fi. Oh,
It's
that's
tagging
awesome.
those iPhones and sending a signal.
Got it.
And it'll tell. Like people will know that. Hey, this wireless device is tracking you, and you don't
Right.
even. You're not even aware.
That's
of
pretty
it.
cool. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. I
Yeah.
can see it. So my guys would love me to get these because they would like put it on my coffee cup or my phone.
Ah.
Because the two things that I lose in this studio every day, multiple times, my coffee and my phone. That's a client waiting for us. So as soon as we get done. So yeah, let's move on. Let's see. The Quartet glass whiteboard desktop easel.
So what do you write on it, and it transfers to your
$12.
computer?
No.
Okay,
It's
well,
just
we don't
an
like
easel.
it. We don't like it. Who cares?
You can just write something crap on there. It's a dry erase board, right? Now, the Google Nest thermostat. I am totally interested in this. I want to get the one. I think you turned me on to it. I was going to order it the other day and I forgot, where you put the one in your main room and you can put 3 others in the rest of the house. That's on
Right,
the
and they'll
same
all-
system, and it starts finding your median temperature.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a nice feature, because then at least you're not going into your bedroom and you're like sweating, and then you go out into the living room and you're cold as heck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happens because for some reason that part of my house is controlled by the main one that we have, and that's also my boys, right? And the other rooms, and that's in theater room, whole 9 yards. Well, problem is when it gets cold, I turn mine down, but then they suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. So I think it'd be a good mean temperature thing. Okay, so this next one is kind of weird. I did not know Acer was still around.
Yeah, they're floating around.
Right, so their Nitro 5 gaming laptop. $810. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad for a gaming laptop.
But again, I didn't know Acer still existed.
Yeah, they're still around.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a laptop though.
Okay. So here, for all you bloggers, and wannabe streamers, UB size ring light. $30. Your phone sits in the middle of the ring light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you need it, take it. Do it. Have fun with it.
Do it
Right.
to it.
Apple Pencil. Now I have seen people freak out when they lose this pencil because they just think this is like the bomb.
I mean, I will say it does work good, but I just don't really have a lot of function for it.
Right. I don't know. I just ordered a new laptop.
Well, there you go.
I mean, not a new iPad.
Oh.
The new mini.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't want some.
I think that one's utilizing the newest processor too.
And I'm
The
gonna
new Mini is.
when I gonna get it because I know I'm gonna use it for when I drone
Mm-hmm.
because I'm having such a hard time looking at this little screen.
Yeah,
I'm
and
getting old.
it's-
I know.
And the Mini is just the right size.
And the Amazon Smart Plug.
Okay,
You get 2 for $24.
That's not bad. No.
That's pretty good. So that means I can turn all my outlets into smart outlets.
Yeah, I wonder who they stole those smart plugs
I
from.
don't know. I wonder who that was. And then number 20, the Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headset. I love mine.
Yeah.
To the point where we're going to put it in the Nerdosphere. We're going to put 4 of them in there. And I really do hope they do it where they don't have to log on to my Facebook account because that means I can independently. These people can log into their own Steam accounts, if they have them, download a thing and play.
So pretty soon you guys are just going to have the Nerdosphere inside a virtual world,
Exactly.
and then just have the whole show right there.
We could do that, right?
That's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Here I am.
you can record it and stream it out.
That is freaking awesome, right? So there you go, top 20 that's coming thing. Now, this last thing I'm going to talk about is, okay, we've all wanted flying cars, right? We've all wanted those flying cars. Well, this could be the closest thing you're going to get. It's called the Jetson, right? So it is literally, it's a personal aircraft in aluminum and carbon fiber powered by 8 powerful electric motors. In other words, it's a drone that you can ride.
Looks so safe.
Right? Nothing can go wrong here.
No,
right?
no,
Nothing at all.
don't try to jump out in those spinning blades.
But
okay?
to me, I mean, if I don't have to have a special license for it,
Right.
okay, I'm in.
Is it because it's technically a drone? You don't need a special license for it?
Well, even a drone, you have to have, you have to be licensed. You have to get your 107.
So there you go. That's
that's
the only
easy,
license
though.
you have to get.
Right, because this is definitely over that. So that, the Mini 2, you don't have to have a license for it because it's under a certain weight. The minute you put it's kind of funny, the minute you put a light on it, right, or there's an external camera you can put on that can do thermal, it goes over, so you have to be licensed. But right now, so look, we have the new studios that we're building in Orlando, and we're in St. Pete. This would be a perfect thing. I just jump on it, take off, go up a little bit high, fly all the way over to Orlando, land. I don't know what the time is. I wonder if it's gas. I don't think it would be. Oh no, electric motors. So.
Yeah, the only thing I see issue is the fact that those blades are.
They would hurt.
They would hurt and hurt somebody else's equipment, somebody's house. Actually, I could just see that just cutting right through somebody's siding on their house.
It only weighs 190 pounds.
Wow, really?
Yep, you can take, if you're over 210, you can't get in it. That's the pilot weight, right?
Come on.
When folded, it's only 900 millimeters.
Folded.
Flight time is only 20 minutes.
Well, perfect. You can fly from
Right.
52 to Ridge Road and you're dead.
If that, right? 63 miles an hour. And it's a 3-axis joystick with a throttle lever. So that's like flying a helicopter. High discharge lithium-ion batteries. The total power output is 88 kilowatts. It's aluminum space airframe and the electric brushless outrunner motors. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Just put little jet
we
engines
have
on
burned
it.
up so much time on that. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching today. Sorry Anthony wasn't here, but he'll be here next week.
That's right.
As long as he doesn't get another trailer load of hay.
Hey.
Hey. That's awesome.
Soon to be crap.
Soon to be crap. Isn't that amazing? Everything turns to crap.
Yeah, it does
No matter
eventually.
who you are, right? So anyway, if you got any questions, text Shamans at webeamtv.com. If you got anything you want us to talk about, send it to us earlier so we have time to get it onto the show, and we will do that. So
Email us.
For the man here, have a good techie week. We'll see everybody next week. Stay safe. Don't let tech get away from you. Bye.
Bye.
We got the plans 'cause we are the tech shamans. We understand 'cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.